One day, I was doing my daily Reddit scroll when I stumbled upon a sub called Overemployment. If you didn't know, this is basically an entire culture where people are working for 2 or even more companies at the same time without them actually finding out about each other. If they find out, most of the time they fire that specific employee or even worse, sue him. And I, as a coder myself, was put in this position as well a few months back. I already got a comfortable job from 9 to 5, but the thought of getting another one was always in the back of my mind. After all, if I manage to complete all the tasks that I get assigned to me in a timely manner, what would stop me from spending the rest of my time doing work as a contractor for another company? This way, I am basically doubling my rate. Who in their right mind would pass on this kind of leverage? At least that was my mindset at first, but not all people seemed to agree. Upon creating a post in a different subreddit where I was asking about whether other programmers from my area are currently doing this, I got hit with 2 types of comments. Very different types of comments. On one hand, there were the people that really encouraged me to get into this. They had a similar mindset to mine and did not find anything morally wrong with being overemployed. But here came the haters. This group of people were projecting their personal frustrations upon me and my idea. They said that my kind of employee was what determined all the modern companies to reinstantiate coming to the office on a weekly basis and end the so sweet work from home era. My problem with this argument would be this. I am currently working as a remote developer, and the other offer I got was for a remote position as well. While it's true that in the technology space, jobs, especially remote ones, have become scarcer, it is still quite possible to get an offer. If you are a good programmer, that is. But if instead of learning new technical things and evolving as a coder, you choose to browse Reddit, waste time, and comment on my post, it is quite clear you won't make it. It is a competitive industry. And that's when I understood the first rule of overemployment. Don't tell anyone you are doing this. They actually have a website as well, with multiple posts containing pieces of advice for anyone looking to get into this. I even found multiple YouTube videos from fellow coders describing their personal experience. All this does not stop at 2 jobs either. Many stories talk about 3, 4, or even 5 jobs at the same time, with the protagonists claiming to be earning up to 7 figures annually. Mind-blowing. This is the dream we all have, right? Well, as it turns out, while most of them had the chance to develop financially by applying this strategy for a period of time, I found that more often than not, it led to burnout and really bad mental health. The constant stress that you are doing something you shouldn't, as well as the amount of work resulting from both jobs combined, got to some of the posters in that sub. I even read the story of a guy that closed his second job laptop because he could not take it anymore, and at that point he was just waiting to be called by the company to get fired when they finally realized his absence. That was some Breaking Bad type of tension. I really did not want that for myself. More money is always good, but sacrificing my well-being to that point is ridiculous. There is a saying, slow and steady wins the race. I currently prefer to have my one coding job where I can perform to the best of my abilities, as well as other side hustles that pay me something extra passively each month. The main advantage is that these side projects are not time sensitive. I can work on them at any point. If I have a busier day at work, maybe I will try again tomorrow. And there aren't multiple people messaging me on Microsoft Teams or Slack at the same time asking me to do something. If you reach that situation, I think it is quite hard not to go insane. Stress has some really bad consequences on the body, and if you can avoid huge spikes of it, I suggest you do it as well. Another thing I realized would have been way out of my comfort zone were overlapping meetings. You only have to worry about this if multiple of the jobs you are planning to take are on similar time zones, and this was exactly my case. They were on the same time zone. This delicate subject is discussed in detail, both on the Overemployed website and sub. There are multiple approaches to take in order to avoid the obvious nightmare plot. being caught by one meeting hearing the other. The most used method here was to use different laptops, use a different pair of headsets for each meeting, and only unmute yourself if you need to speak, and that is if it is really imperative for you to speak, otherwise just keep quiet. I honestly did not think I would be able to listen to two different technical discussions and keep up with both of them at the same time, not even talking about the worst case scenario where you would need to talk in both of the meetings at the same time. Just this thought alone would send shivers down my spine. Of course, you can come up with some excuse, like my internet connection just went down, but no thank you, I was not willing to go that far. No matter how money driven you are, there is a point where no amount of money would be worth sacrificing your health. At that point, you wouldn't even be able to enjoy them, so what would be the point anyway? However, if you find yourself bored at your current employer and you are the type of person that learns and does the job quickly, you might give this a try or do it for some time, up to the point where you reach a certain goal. This was another rule of the overemployed community. Let's say getting your mortgage paid off or reaching a certain amount in savings. Otherwise, you can follow my strategy and work on the side at multiple non-time sensitive projects and earn some extra income that way. If you want to learn more about one of the ways I am able to generate a few $100 monthly, you can click on this video.